All right, so you wanted to know more about travel tech, huh? Well, you've come to the right place because that's exactly what we're going to be diving into today.
Yeah, it's a fascinating area, really. It's basically all those IT and e-commerce tools that have completely changed the way we plan trips and, actually experience them.
From booking flights to finding that perfect little restaurant tucked away somewhere, it seems like there's an app for everything these days.
Totally. And we've actually got some great information lined up for this deep dive. We'll be looking at what travel tech actually is, how the pandemic shook things up, and who's actually using all this tech. Plus, we'll talk about the real benefits it offers, some of the exciting new technologies popping up, and even take a look at a specific platform, Make My Trip, to see how it all comes together.
Yeah, sounds like a pretty comprehensive look.
Yeah.
So, for those of you listening who maybe aren't super familiar with all this, what exactly is travel tech?
Well, at its core, travel tech is all about using information technology and e-commerce to make things easier in the travel, tourism, and hospitality industries.
Okay, so streamlining things, making things more efficient.
Exactly. The main goal is to automate those processes that can be, let's be honest, a bit of a hassle. Things like booking flights, finding hotels, figuring out transport. It's all about saving you time and money and just making your whole travel experience smoother and more enjoyable.
Makes sense. And I think it's important to acknowledge the elephant in the room, or rather, the pandemic that kind of stormed through the room a few years back.
Yeah.
How did that impact the travel tech world?
Yeah, the pandemic was a massive curveball for the entire travel industry, and obviously, travel tech was right in the thick of it.
Yeah, I remember everything just grinding to a halt.
Absolutely. And with travel demand plummeting, a lot of companies in the sector experienced pretty significant financial losses. There was also a huge strain on resources dealing with all the cancellations and refunds. And sadly, this even led to job losses in many cases.
It was a really tough time for everyone involved.
It really was. And on top of everything else, the constant changes in travel rules and restrictions created a ton of operational challenges for the industry. The whole thing really underscored just how important adaptability is for the travel sector.
Yeah, being able to pivot and adjust quickly became absolutely crucial. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about the people using all this tech. It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
Nope, not at all. Different types of travelers use travel tech in different ways, depending on their needs and priorities.
So how would you break down those different user groups?
Well, you've got solo travelers who might be more focused on researching destinations, finding suitable accommodations, and maybe using navigation apps to get around once they arrive.
Right, they're all about that independent exploration.
Exactly. Then you've got groups of friends traveling together who might be using apps to coordinate their plans, share itineraries, and find activities they can all enjoy together.
So keeping everyone on the same page and maximizing the fun factor.
For sure. And then you have couples who might be planning a romantic getaway and using travel tech to discover unique experiences tailored for couples.
I can see that being really useful for finding those hidden gems.
Absolutely.
So,
And lastly, you've got families who often need tools to help them book larger accommodations, find family-friendly attractions and activities, and keep everyone safe and sound while they're traveling.
so really, it's about catering to a wide spectrum of needs and travel styles. Now, for all of you listening out there, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What are the real-world benefits of using all this travel tech?
Well, I'd say the two biggest advantages are convenience and, as we touched on before, efficiency. With travel tech, you can book your flights, reserve hotels, and even plan activities all in one centralized platform. It's a huge time saver.
Yeah, no more jumping between a dozen different websites.
Exactly. And you can also compare prices from different providers to make sure you're getting the best deal possible. A lot of these platforms also offer a really comprehensive suite of services. So you can find things like car rentals, travel insurance, and airport transfers all in one place.
It's like having your own personal travel agent right in your pocket.
In a way, yes. Plus, you can often access exclusive deals and discounts that you wouldn't find elsewhere. And let's not forget the trip planning tools. Many platforms offer features that help you create detailed itineraries, get information about your destination, and even connect with other travelers.
It sounds like it takes a lot of the guesswork and stress out of planning a trip. Now let's talk about the future. What are some of the cool new technologies that are starting to shape the travel tech landscape?
Oh, there's a lot happening in this space. One of the most exciting areas is the use of artificial intelligence, or AI, and machine learning, which is basically teaching computers to learn from data. These technologies are being used to create personalized recommendations based on your past travel behavior. So the platforms are getting smarter and more intuitive.
It's like they're starting to anticipate your needs before you even know them yourself.
Right. Then you have augmented reality and virtual reality, or AR and VR, which are starting to offer some really immersive experiences. You can actually explore destinations virtually before you book, which is pretty incredible.
That's a game changer, especially if you're hesitant about a particular destination.
For sure. And then there are advancements in voice search and natural language processing, which allow you to interact with platforms using everyday language. This makes it even easier for people of all tech skill levels to use travel tech.
It's all about breaking down those barriers to entry.
Exactly. And then you have the rise of chatbots, which can provide instant assistance and support with bookings and other travel-related queries. They're becoming increasingly sophisticated, and in some cases, you can't even tell you're not talking to a real person.
So it's like having a 247 travel assistant at your fingertips. Now, to give everyone a concrete example of how some of this tech is being used, can you walk us through the user journey on a platform like Make My Trip?
Sure. So when you open the Make My Trip app or website, you're greeted with a pretty clean and intuitive home screen. You'll see clear options for flights, hotels, activities, holiday packages, pretty much everything you need to plan a trip. They also often feature promotions and deals prominently on the homepage so you can see what's available at a glance.
So right off the bat, it's all about simplicity and ease of use.
Absolutely. And one of the really handy features is their flight fare calendar. This allows you to see the cheapest dates to fly to your chosen destination over a wider date range, so you can be flexible with your travel dates and potentially save some money.
That's a great tool for budget-conscious travelers.
Definitely. And then, when you're searching for flights, you have a ton of filtering options. You can narrow down your search by airline, departure, and arrival times, number of stops, even the type of aircraft. And some options allow you to lock in a price for a certain period of time so you can be sure you're getting the best deal, even if prices fluctuate.
It gives you a lot of control over the booking process.
It really does. And to make things even easier, they have a voice assistant that supports multiple languages, so you can literally speak your travel plans into the app and it'll do the work for you.
That's super convenient, especially if you're on the go.
Totally. And after you've booked your flight, you get a confirmation screen with all the details, as well as options to check in online. But what's really interesting is that Make My Trip often provides support through WhatsApp after you've made your booking. They might send you offers for hotels or rides at your destination, making the whole experience feel very connected and seamless.
So it's not just about booking the flight, it's about supporting you throughout your entire trip.
Precisely. And that's really the essence of travel tech, using digital tools to streamline and enhance every stage of your travel experience. And with all these new technologies coming into play, the possibilities are really endless.
It's exciting to think about what the future holds for travel tech. And speaking of the future, here's something for all of you listening to ponder. With travel becoming so streamlined and easy thanks to all this technology, how might our mindset towards travel change? Will we become more spontaneous and adventurous, more willing to just pick a destination and go? Or will the ease of planning and booking lead to even more structured and optimized trips, where every detail is meticulously planned out in advance? It's a fascinating question to consider.
It really is. I guess only time will tell how our relationship with travel evolves alongside these technological advancements.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into travel tech. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time for another fascinating exploration.
Thanks for having me.